Okay, good morning, folks. Welcome to the Tuesday, June 9th, 2020 Working Group Component Standard meeting. Um, Pretty light agenda this morning, but I thought it'd be good for us to all, sort of sync up since we haven't had a meeting in a while and just kind of talk about what's going on and what people are working on. So I'll jump in just because I had the only agenda item, which was I was hoping to make some progress on the instance specific kept last week to try and unblock that. I made a little progress on a draft, but sort of realized that there were more things I hadn't thought about while I was writing that I want to sketch out in code in a little more detail. So just to summarize, we thought we had a consensus the last meeting to just go with sort of the case-by-case merge, like add an instance specific type. If it turns out there's some field that was miscategorized, we'll put it in both and define a merge where the instance specific one overrides the shared config. I think that one thing I hadn't thought of was, because we use the internal types directly today, if the field's in both places, what does other runtime code do? Does it read it from the instance specific one? Does it read it from the shared one? If it was a miscategorized field, there's always going to be legacy code that was reading it from one place and not the other. So there's some additional thinking to do there. Like on one hand, yes, we could probably just make sure it's the same value in both places so it doesn't matter. But on the other hand, that's kind of a messy approach and maybe there's something better. The other thing I'll just throw out there is like I haven't had a ton of time to work on this, and if other folks are interested in working on it, I'm happy to hand it off to someone who wants to unblock this as well. So that's my update. How are you guys doing?
Well, I'm having some more progress on component config side Cubelet, and but basically mostly on the support of and manual upgrades of component configs. So I have the PR, which basically stamps config maps with generated by Cubelet component configs with SHA-256 hash already merged. So from I think 119, all that's generated by Cubelet and not supplied by the user is going to be hashed. So this will hopefully allow Cubelet to basically just throw away hashed config maps that have component configs in them if they need upgrading, and just generate new ones. And pretty much that's on my part. So
cool. So does that at least solve your upgrade problem for now?
well, partially yes, but yeah, legacy clusters which don't have this stamp are still going to be basically they still have to have their component configs upgraded manually, even if they were just generated by QN. And but yeah, so far we haven't faced any change in the version of component config, so we haven't actually faced that problem. But I suspect that soon we are going to have to deal with that. But yeah, I think that for the future.
So this solves the problem of Cubadium knowing whether somebody modified the config.
Yeah.
After it was deployed. I see.
And basically, if it has been modified or if it was supplied in its entirety by the user is then responsible to just go in and change it. And currently I'm working also on an interface to basically allow the user to specify new override component configs upon upgrade. So basically we have currently a Cubelet upgrade plan command, and this command is basically showing you what version is available to what component and how you can upgrade Kubernetes version. This command is going to also have an additional table which is going to output all of the current states and the desired states of the component configs. So what version does it have? What version is supposed to be in there? And does the user actually have to do something to manually upgrade those? And Cube8M upgrade apply, which is basically going to upgrade your the first instance of the control plane. Is going to also have an interface that enables it to specify a file which has these override configs and just apply them as part of the upgrade process. So this is at least going to improve the user experience massively, as opposed to just having to go over with kubectl and apply the configs manually.
For sure. Are the overrides like just a whole scale update, or are they like more of an apply merge approach?
Yeah, just whole scale update. I don't have any plans to have any merges here. After all, we don't know what's basically what was the old version. By the time we actually Cube8M decides that this config is no longer supported, it basically has no clue what it is. It identifies this as a recognized config by the API group. So the API group is the marker there, but if it's a different version than the one it is supporting, it's going to basically say, hey, you need to change your component config version to this one.
Got it. Cool. Yeah, it sounds like at least some good progress.
Yeah, which is sort of a blueprint as to what possible other components that are in the same situation as Cube8M should try and do. And if they invent something even better, I'm also happy to try that one.
Yeah, sounds good. Cool. Amim, do you have anything for the meeting?
Yes, I'm the last batch. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I heard you're the last batch something.
Oh, sorry. So I'm the last batch of experimental flags of Cubelet Migration. So we have some 3 or 4 PRs open for this. And for at least the experimental one, we will be done.
Got it. If you can ping me links to the latest ones, that would be super helpful. Yeah, a lot of times the GitHub stuff gets lost in my email. It's just super noisy.
That's true.
Thanks. And thank you so much for getting all these done. It's been awesome to see the progress.
I think the trickiest one is the last one I sent you. That's about the lock file and the exit on lock contention. It's not clear for people what to do. I think it's only being used on the boot cube for self-hosted, but I think this is mostly deprecated now. We have some discussion going on boot cube channel.
Yeah, I don't think many people use the lock file. I think we could probably put it on a deprecation path for after 3 releases or so. We should probably talk to people if they want to make it longer, like a year. If the thing is, we don't know like which companies really rely on it to do like a self-hosted setup. Like when CoreOS was still around, before Red Hat bought them, they used it in production. So like it was never something we would have removed in that at that time, but now I have no idea what people do. So it might be a candidate for removal.
Okay, we change to deprecation.
Yeah, maybe. Trying to think. I would ask Jordan at least if he knows anything about how people use it. He might have some more knowledge, or we could maybe poke Tim Hawken on it and see if he knows. Yeah.
I know some SAP folks are actually doing self-hosted, so probably we should check up with them too.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like there's a ton of conversation on the PR yet. I'll tag a few people.
I joined a bit late, but what feature or component was that?
Oh, we're talking about whether we should keep the Cubelet lock file and exit on lock contention options, which people use if they're like bootstrapping a self-hosted Cubelet. So yeah, I wouldn't change this to a deprecation yet. Let some folks comment on it first, because if we do have to keep it, we might as well move it to the config.
Okay.
So I just commented on it to tag a few extra folks. Okay, I'll take a look at the other ones today as well. Or if you want to talk about them, we can do it in the office hours.
I think the most complicated there is the bootstrap one that involves some code cleanup. It's 91577.
Got it. Okay, I'll take a deeper look at that later today. Sounds good. Thanks. Joe, what's up?
Hey, all. Finally got the object meta for component config kit out there, and we'll got some comments from you and from Jordan, and we'll start to iterate through fleshing out the meat of those items in the issue as well as the KEP itself, and start getting some better ideas on specific placement of the object meta code for the APIs, and just keep iterating on that for now.
Awesome. Sounds good. Just in case I missed any emails, do you have any replies to comments or anything you need me to swing by on?
Nothing off the top of my head. There were a couple of items that I did want a little bit more clarity on, but I'll ping you on those ad hoc to make sure I'm clear on forward direction for that.
Awesome. Sounds good. Yeah, my main comments I think were just to like flesh it out with more examples and just add a little more detail.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, great start. All right, I think that's it for me. As far as my to-dos and updates, does anyone have anything else? Awesome. All right, take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy. Take care of yourselves. Cheers.